I have had the hardest time thinking about a mentor teacher in my life. I've learned what not to do from many people. When I was a first year teacher, I had a principal who would walk down the hall, and it was only him and I in the hallway. I'll be walking one way, he'd be walking the other way, and he wouldn't even acknowledge my presence. And it left me thinking, am I doing something wrong? Did I offend him? Is he upset with me? And that was the only thought that I was left with for weeks, because it was hard enough being a new teacher. And I've promised that when I became a leader, which over the years I have, I would never treat somebody that way. And so every person that I pass by, I acknowledge every single person. There was one mentor that I remember early on in my administrative career when I first went into building administration. I was hired as a dean of students in a middle school. I left the classroom, and my very first interview was for dean of students at a middle school. And I walked into the school building. It was the summertime, and it was the principal and the assistant principal, and it was a very casual, relaxed environment. In fact, I think they were in shorts because it was summer, and here I am in suit and tie because that's how you go to interviews. And I was welcomed immediately, and we talked casually. They asked me a few questions, typical interview questions, but it was more like sitting at a table with old friends. And I thought, wow, I would love to work here with these people. And sure enough, I got the job. And that principal's name was Dr. Dan Johnson. He's now a superintendent. He moved out onto the superintendency, as he should have. And the one thing that sticks out in my mind immediately when I think about someone I've learned the most from and who I try to model my own behavior and actions after is Dan Johnson. And I remember my very first year there, after I had started, over the summer, there was a glass tabletop that had been broken. One of the eighth grade teachers, and she kept all these pictures under it. She had a really long table. She didn't use a traditional teacher's desk. She had a really long table. There was a glass tabletop over it, and she kept all these pictures and notes and things from kids that the kids would give her, and you could look at them under the glass table. Well, it got broken somehow. One of the custodians actually accidentally broke it, and she was devastated. And over the summer, Dan had it replaced, unbeknownst to her. So she came in in August, and there's this beautiful new glass tabletop, and all of her pictures and letters were under it, and she cried. She was so happy that she could protect them and that he had thought enough about that detail, and he knew what was important to her, and he just went ahead and did it. He went ahead and replaced it for her. She didn't ask him. She didn't even complain about it when it got broken. And that's the thing I remember, and I try to model my own behavior and actions after. It's to notice the details, take care of people by noticing the details, finding out about them, know what's important to them, so that you can take care of the small details that are critical to human relationship, and that is the way to get people to know that their work is relevant, to know that their work is meaningful, to know that they are cared for and desired and wanted. And I'll always remember that about him, was how he treated people, how when you walked into a room and he was there and you had his attention and he was talking with you, you were the only person in that room. There could be 100 people in the room, but if he was talking to you, you were the only person that mattered to him right at that moment. It was just you and him in the room. Everyone else could have been elsewhere. And that's the most important thing that I remember about him, and that he still does to this day. I still keep in touch with him, but I try to think and try to model my own behavior after those actions, because they mean a lot. They meant a lot to me, and I know that they mean a lot to people. It's the bedrock of human connection, is that relationship piece.